Down in the bottom right position, we have got the blue Terran player from Clan Mythology. It is Nathan. And his opponent spawning up in the top left, the red Protoss. From PH clan tag, I'm not quite sure which clan that is, but I'm sure someone in the Twitch chat will enlighten me. It is Acey. Now, Acey took game number 1 with that really aggressive one-base play. This is a version of Star Station as well, with the force cross-spawn positions, which is another thing to keep in mind because that will affect strategy. Reapers on Star Station, this is probably the best map imaginable for Reapers because of all of this cliff area. It is absolutely huge, and you can really try and utilize that nicely. However, one thing that Nathan needs to be careful of is any more one-base plays. He probably felt quite comfortable with the bunker up and scouting the proxy Stargate, but will it be enough this game to allow him to come back? Will he have a different strategy up his sleeve? Is he going to go for the same thing? Gotta just keep an eye out. But here we go. We've got the gateway now coming down here. Nothing too crazy yet, but it's early days. We've got to keep an eye on the gas timing. Remember, game 1, the reason we knew it was going to be a proxy Stargate is because 2 gases came down, 3 probes in each. And that, of course, means that, hey, we're going to definitely be getting some tech. Will it be the same thing again? Will it be something proxied again? Maybe, maybe not. Just got to keep an eye out what could be occurring. But in comes the ACV for Nathan. He just wants to know once more what's happening. Because, of course, that's how he knew that that proxy Stargate could be going down. Because he saw the 2 gas and he saw 3 probes in each. 3 probes going into 1 gas there. I have no doubt that Nathan is going to be keeping this SCV in his opponent's main just to get a look of when the additional gases are taken and whether any tech's thrown down in the main base, because he wants to know if anything's proxied. Back at home, though, he's got the 1 gas. He doesn't have enough gas yet in order to chuck down the Reaper, but will do shortly. And yeah, if he keeps that down, that'd be pretty good. But now, oh, this is quite cool. Okay, so it was 3 probes in 1 gas. Now 1 was pulled out, so it's 2 in each. This is hopefully going to get identified by Nathan, who does now have a reactor on its way, not opting for the Reaper this play. And as long as he keeps that, as long as he really just gets out a nice lot of stuff and doesn't lose early on, he should be in a good spot. There comes the engineering bay block, though. This is always going to be very frustrating. The reactor is also on its way down here, so things looking fairly safe and nothing too crazy occurring for the moment on either side, just the mothership core on its way. And this is kind of in response to that the engineering bay block was because, okay, I saw you took 2 gases there, it's probably for a mothership core. I need to make sure that you really aren't getting down a quick nexus. So if I put the engineering bay block down, that's going to delay it. It means that your entire opening is going to be thrown off by quite a sizable amount, especially when the Zealot was skipped as well, because that stalk was the first thing out. A small supply block coming down from AC here too, but in comes a little bit of additional DPS from the mothership core and the stalker. But it still takes a long time to get rid of this engineering bay, which will, I have no doubt, just get cancelled anyway. And that's always very frustrating. There we go, Cancel comes down, 94 minerals returned. The command center already started here for Nathan. He's still got just the 1 gas for the moment, and all in all, these 2 just playing a lot more passively than they did in the previous game. The mothership core and the stalker go for a nice little bit of poking, nice little bit of prodding. Second stalker currently just staying back at home, a robo being thrown down too, so 1 gate expand with the robotics facility following it up. 2 Reapers just chilling around here. This is the advantage of keeping the Stalker up in the main base, is that when these Reapers come a poking, then the Stalker can poke back and make sure that, no, that is not going to be occurring. Everything is going to get forced out of the way. And here we go. We've got the Stalker is just going to come and try and clean out some of these Reapers. The Reapers do manage to rack up 1 kill each, so that's pretty nice. Meanwhile, at the same time as Stalker now just sitting here, coming straight up the ramp, is going to run head first into 3 Marines. Will be able to fall back though and get out of the way. The mothership core also falling back here. 1 Reaper, both Reapers are still alive, just chilling down here at the watchtower. But with more units getting forced out, then to be honest, this is going to get a little bit harder for Nathan to continue doing damage with. He's got the mothership core on its way back to base 2. He's got the Stalker just sitting, pulling back. The 2 Reapers are going to try and make their way in, but are they going to be able to do anything? The answer, no, they're not. The Stalker is just slowly chipping away. Good little bit of micro there by Nathan, pulling back the damage Reaper, trying to get a couple more shots off, but Acey, he's on top of it. He's already got an observed route. He's going to rally that over. Interestingly, Nathan hasn't actually floated down his orbital command quite yet. Is literally just doing that as I speak, though. And yeah, in he comes. He's going to be able to just come and land this down, and both players have got a natural base up and running. So this is now getting a bit more into the mid-game stages from what these two have got, with Stim on its way down, with the engineering bay down to... sorry, no, the engineering bay was cancelled as a proxied one, with a second gas coming down even, and the factory. Well, to be honest, Nathan, he's sitting back quite comfortably with the robotics facility, with just 2 additional gateways coming down at the moment, and of course +1 armor on its way for Acey. That's looking a lot more on Acey's side like he's going to be relatively passive as well. So these two are, yeah, going to just be sitting back, macroing up, teching up, getting down key upgrades, and really just trying to get a solid economy. There comes the Twilight Council as well for Acey, so he could very well be going for some Blink style play. He could also be going for just rush up into some, he could go for some GT, some High Templar, both possible options. It could just be for +2 armor to get started up ASAP, but it's a little bit early for just that because +1 armor is only half done there. So those are really the options available to Acey at the moment. Meanwhile for Nathan, he's got Stim 2/3 done. We've got the reactor coming down here. We've got the starport, so they'll switch over just to get a good pump out of medevacs. So Biostar coming down from Nathan to be expected, as well as the engineering bay now getting started, so his upgrades will get on the way. But if a second forge follows up here for Acey, he'll easily be able to get a really solid upgrade advantage. He's got a decent number of units out. He's now getting his first immortal. The observers, where are they all chilling? Well, we've got a couple just sitting around. One in his opponent's base sees this. Can he actually see that move out of units there? The answer is no, not quite. So he doesn't know how many Marines are there. And he has scattered out the starport though, so he knows a little bit about what's occurring. +1 armor is now done. Are we going to see a follow-up with that with +2 armor? No, but we do have the Templar Archives on their way, as well as Charge. So Charge on Archon 2 base play is really going to be coming down here at the moment for Acey, at least if he follows this up in the same way. We've got a couple of medevacs on the way out now. Stim is finished, Concussive Shell getting researched by Nathan, and these two just teching up, really quite passive. Only a couple of hundred resources lost on either side, but these additional 2 gates, that actually takes Acey up to 5 gateways, plus the robotics facility, plus of course Storm Tech coming down. He's going for a really pretty nice amount of damage. That's going to be coming in fairly soon, and if he starts pushing across and gets with Storm and +2, if it's done in time, that can be actually a really devastating push time. Zealots just moving out, kind of get a good little look, and yeah, at the same time, Nathan, he's just like, well, I've got Concussive Shell, I've got Stim, I'm gonna come and try and kill you. And that is never a bad thing to try and do. If you can ever think that I can just kill my opponent, it's usually a good time to go. And actually, this is a good time to go for Nathan, because his opponent doesn't have Sonic Storm yet, does have Charge finished, but doesn't have a massive army either. So without Storm, there's no real splash damage, which means this sort of chunk of army can be really difficult. The only thing he's got to be cautious of, though, are these 2 High Templar can feed back the 2 medevacs, and without those, this push gets substantially less effective. But for the moment, Nathan, he's trying to get in position ready to go in. Is he going to start moving forward? Photon Overcharge getting triggered very early there. Force Field's getting thrown down even sooner, too, for Acey, and that is when you start seeing things get, well, a little more cautious, a little more like, okay, I don't want you moving quite yet. I've nearly got Storm done. I want Storm, and then you can come at me, bro. And that is really why Acey threw down that Photon Overcharge, just to force his back, but a double drop is heading into the main base. Has this been spotted? Well, a couple of High Templar are moving up, but if all of the army is pulled back, that exposes the natural base. A pylon trying to get taken down. A Storm is going to hit. Not a massive Storm, that second one, not quite on the money either, but gets a couple of units. At the same time, the natural base is not getting sieged quite yet, but in now comes Nathan. Photon Overcharge should only have a few seconds remaining. There we go, it is now kicking off, but Nathan, he has been rejected from that push. Not very much damage done at all. Nathan actually losing more resources than that of his opponents, so not a very good trade for him there, but he's still keeping the map dominance. In come the Zealots though. They're getting a good surface area on all of this infantry. The medevacs aren't in position. So much infantry going down there, and of course the 2 immortals. Brilliant engagement there for Acey, who's just chasing all of this down. This is just so good for him. Nathan just leaving that army out of position for a split second, and now of course more marauders could potentially die here. So much infantry got taken out there, and if we take a look at the army supply now, 67 to 52, another wave of warpins nearly ready, but Acey, he's just happy to take a third, knowing that he just did a massive amount of damage, and that is always something that is going to be really really quite frustrating. We do have now the Zealots, the Immortals, and of course the first few Archons there. Blink on its way down as well as 5 more High Templar hitting the field. Storm can wreck this. No robotics facility quite yet though, so we're not seeing a tech switch into any Colossi for the time being. Instead, just the second Forge on its way down, which is going to just really complement the fact that +2 ground weapons is already done, +3 ground armor is on its way down. So +3 ground armor, and of course the second Forge +1 ground weapons will get started. Meanwhile, on Nathan's side, he's just busy getting out the double upgrades himself. He's got +2 infantry weapons, +1 infantry armor, and that is something that you definitely always want to see be going down, because once you start getting that, those upgrades, you are going to be trading more effectively. But Acey is a long way ahead in terms of upgrades, and especially now with Chrono Boost +3 armor, going to really allow those charge lots to tank up so much damage. It can be really potent. But yeah, all in all, we are just seeing and everything just happily sitting around and things going relatively normally. We've got really Acey just sitting back here with the third up. Nathan sitting there with his now third up. So these two going all about their normal days, normal things going as they would be expected in a pretty standard PvT. A little bit of trading, not too much going on. This Ghost Academy though is really critical. Because the Ghost Academy, absolutely essential in order to get the Ghosts out, to get some good EMPs down, specifically on these High Templar. Some snipes are also really critical to make it all work well. But 2 more gateways being added into the mix. The worker count, 63 to 68 in Acey's favour, but then Mules, they make up for that quite nicely too. A couple more High Templar just sitting around here, just banking up energy. And really Nathan, he's just trying to get himself and to get trying to retake a bit of map awareness, but there are still a decent number of observers sitting around. One Zealot here getting taken out all on his lonesome, and that's never really something that you're going to want, is to well, you don't really want to lose anything for its own. Acey now is getting down that Colossus, and if he manages to start getting up a couple of Colossi, especially when the Viking count is only at 2, well, he can start to look pushing in. But actually Nathan's army looking fairly substantial, fairly scary at the moment. Sitting here with a decent chunk of infantry, and of course look at the upgrades. 1-3 up against 2-1. So not a massive difference between them in upgrades, but in terms of army supply, Nathan is now maxed out. Ooh. Oh, that hurt. That really hurt. A lot of infantry went down there. That must have been from a massive storm somewhere, which I just didn't catch. But yeah, all in all, this now looking good. Another nice storm going down. A lot of that infantry taking a lot of damage. Zealots starting to move forward, getting ready to get their way through, deal a bit more damage. In come the Zealots again. Oh, a lot of those Zealots getting taken a chunk of fire. There goes down some great storms though. Massive storms hit there. So much damage done to that infantry. Brilliant engagement for Acey. Good feedbacks on those medevacs too mean that they are nearly quartered in number. Another massive storm goes down, and there we go. GG, well played by Nathan, and Acey takes the series 2